I became a brain warrior some time back with him. It's amazing. If you have a chance, you need to go to one of those clinics and get your brain scanned. It's the coolest thing you'll ever do in your life, okay? But I'll tell you what, you have no idea where we're going, okay? There's a great relationship. I mean, is he not cut from the cloth we're cut from? Okay? We're special, he's special. Two specials create a third more powerful special, right? And so, just thrilled. It's really neat to see the brilliance and the insights and the warrior in him, and see what's going over there with Max Stock and Jeff Stock and what's going on with Signum and what they're doing at Princeton. When you think about, Max Stock starting 32 years ago at Princeton, and for the last 20 years, he's the guy that basically found PP2A and started talking about tau, and hear what he's talking about tau in the brain, and you see this beautiful marriage coming together. And you guys, we're really on the forefront of something really, really special here. It really is. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to have Max and Jeff Stock come and talk to you about EHT and the brilliance of EHT. And why I'm so excited about Dr. Amen being here is because I really just feel like if you love somebody or even like somebody, you got to get them on EHT. This is not something that's, this is something they have to be on, okay? And I'm going to put a challenge out there. And I want you all to listen to this because we need to become warriors. And I really want you to hear this. If you take all our active brand partners, these are active brand partners, not past, active, doing volume regularly. Only 1 out of 6 of them are on EHT ADO. So we're not warriors yet. We're very far from it, okay? But we can become warriors because it starts with you. And that's what the message he was trying to get more than anything else, is you take care of your brain. When I saw my brain, and I'm healthy, okay? And I saw it, and I saw how good I was in a lot of different parts of the test, but I saw where it was, that was neat. But when I saw where it could be, that was kind of like a dream. And then I started doing things, and I went back in and got it scanned again, and I saw where it had gone to. I went cuckoo. Because then I realized, wow, I could drive this brain to another level, okay? And it's been exhilarating, the combination of EHT and all the different things there, but just started with awareness. Like I talked about with happiness. It just starts with awareness, and it starts with accessibility, and it starts with engagement. And so we're just privileged to have these guys coming together, and I'm really excited to have Jeff Stock, I don't know how many of you really done your research on Jeff Stock, but when you start looking at PP2A and tau, this is the man, okay? And when he comes out of Princeton, and when they 20 years worked on this, you got to get that, and patented it at Princeton, and assigned it to Signum, and we have it, and we can be the brain warriors that take it to the world. You can only imagine what that means for us. We said we're going to be face, body, and mind. Face, body, and mind. That's the triangle that we're going after for anti-aging. People, we have a beautiful road ahead of us, okay? There's a huge need for somebody who comes along like us that really is going to bring legitimate science, legitimate research, and bring products that really work, and bring products that are underpriced and overvalued, and connect them to our business model and our culture. It's an amazing opportunity to have. So we could not be as fortunate enough to have somebody like Dr. Amen on our side, but also have the relationship with Jeff Stock and Max Stock, but more importantly, have the relationship of Nerium, Jeff Stock, Max Stock, and Dr. Amen together. That's when you have something powerful. So welcome to the stage, the other part of this beautiful, evolving relationship, Jeff and Max Stock from Signum. Please, thank you. Bam.
How's it going, everybody? Thank you. What an amazing talk Dr. Amen gave. What an amazing talk. Incredible. Certainly everything that we believe in terms of diet and exercise. I'm a brain warrior. It's awesome. We're brain warriors, and it's an amazing thing to start to really take your own life under control and start to eat right, exercise, take care of your loved ones, and a big part of that is taking the right supplements, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. Is EHT. So you guys know who we are. So, you know, Jeff's from Princeton, and we both are inventors on this technology. We worked a long time to develop it. Signum, you guys know the Signum story. So today I'm going to talk about EHT. Jeff's going to talk about EHT. And so, again, we focus on brain aging and we focus on skin aging. As Dr. Amen mentioned, if you look at your skin, and there's problems, you're going to have problems other places. So brain and skin are very connected. And at Signum, we're dedicated to both of these. You've heard a lot today from Dr. Amen about all the different causes of brain aging. And those are the things that we focus on. And we look at the molecular mechanisms behind brain aging. So you can do all these things, eating right and exercising. But what we try to do is understand the actual mechanisms behind the problems that you get and actually developing therapeutics to address those problems. And we also, along the way, to developing those therapeutics, we patent those therapeutics. And we've licensed those to you guys, to Nerium International.
And then you guys bring them to the world.
Right. So EHT is eicosanoyl hydroxytryptamide. That's a mouthful, I know. So it's isolated from coffee. And what we've done is in developing this technology, we've published in a number of different peer-reviewed journals like the Neurobiology of Aging, Neurotherapeutics, Journal of Neuroscience, and we feel that it's so critical in developing nutritional supplements to bring really hard science to bear, right? It's so important when you're talking to healthcare professionals that you have real science behind what you're taking, right? How critical is that? We feel it's so important. And we bring that to bear. We don't really see anybody else really doing that kind of work. It seems like science is really focused on drugs. Science is focused on developing therapeutics for when you're already sick. And that's not what we want. We want to develop things that are going to prevent us from getting sick. As Dr. Amen said, you want to exercise, you want to eat well, and you also want to take nutrients that are going to prevent you from getting sick as you get older. So we discovered EHT at Princeton University. Jeff was studying a key regulatory enzyme, PB2A, and we just serendipitously, we didn't start out that we were going to actually develop a brain health supplement. That's not what we started out with. What we were doing was we were studying a specific protein, and we realized that, hey, this protein regulates this key other protein that is very much involved in neuronal function. And so what we did is we developed EHT, patented that extract, and then eventually licensed it to Nerium.
Okay, this shows some of the background of how we developed EHT. So we started out with a theory about PP2A. I started out with a theory that it's been found. First, I realized that PP2A regulates stress responses in your body. Every cell has PP2A. PP2A is like a master regulator. It controls stress responses. It controls the threshold for stress. Right? It's probably the most important regulatory protein enzyme in your body. So I realized that about PP2A, and then I looked for a disease where PP2A was deficient. I started out with the biochemistry. I looked for a disease where PP2A was known to be deficient, and that turns out to be Alzheimer's disease. It had been shown that in Alzheimer's, PP2A is deficient, and that contributes to all of the defects, the molecular defects associated with Alzheimer's disease. So then we decided to look for something that maintains PP2A in a healthy state. And we went, rather than going to bizarre chemical libraries like you would do if you were in a drug company, what we did was we went to natural products that are supposed to be healthy for your brain. And the first place we looked was coffee. Because coffee, if you look at the literature, coffee is good for you. It's the most common fruit drink in the American diet. It's really healthy. And so we looked in coffee to try to find if something affected PP2A, and we looked in other things as well. And we found lots of places where where agents corrected PP2A defects. And in coffee, we identified EHT. So we purified EHT, and it turns out EHT is a derivative of serotonin. It's derived from serotonin, that molecule that you heard about in Dr. Amen's talk, the molecule that makes you feel good, that controls your appetite, that controls a ton of things that are going on in your body and, more importantly, in your mind. So it's a derivative of serotonin, so that was really exciting. And then we put EHT in a number of different model systems that people have developed to study neurodegenerative disease. And we found that EHT was beneficial, dramatically beneficial in those systems for Parkinson's disease, a disease called Lewy body dementia, diffuse Lewy body disease, which is a common disease that's probably the most overlooked disease, I think, certainly in neurodegeneration, and in modeled for Alzheimer's disease. And then we made an extract in coffee, from coffee, to make as a supplement. So we could not make a drug. That would take a dozen years and $1 billion, and there are a lot of pitfalls along the way, and you could never do it with the natural product. You could never make a drug from EHT because nobody owns it. Nobody owns EHT. We just own the extract that we make from coffee to make EHT, because people know the structure of EHT. So it's one of those cases where, because of the economics of the way the pharmaceutical industry works, it's a landmine. So what we do is we make a supplement, and then we can give it to everybody right away, right? Get it out there. Get it out there cheap. It's cheap compared to a drug. It's cheap. It's there. It's available. And try it and see if it works. Because there's nothing that works in the pharmaceutical industry for stopping the progression of Alzheimer's disease.
So now, I'd like to talk about...
That's good?
Yeah. So I'd like to talk about how EHT works, and what we want to focus on are microtubules. So inside every neuron in your brain, there are microtubules, and microtubules act like the conveyor belts. They move around nutrients, they move around mitochondria. They also play a cytoskeletal role. They actually give neurons their structure. And so what happens when you get dysfunctions in tau is that you actually form these neurofibrillary tangles, as Dr. Amen mentioned, in chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which is something that happens when you get a lot of concussions. Football players get it. You get these hyperphosphorylation of tau. And so what happens when tau is hyperphosphorylated, it's not able to form these neurofibrillary tangles. So you can see the healthy neuron on the top with the EHT surrounding it. It allows tau to not become phosphorylated. It really reduces that phosphorylation state. And then what happens when you get defective microtubules, and that happens through brain trauma, it happens through aging, it happens through lack of exercise, it happens through eating badly, it happens through smoking, it happens in any number of unhealthy lifestyles, is you start to get these neurofibrillary tangles and this hyperphosphorylation, and eventually will lead to Alzheimer's and these other neurodegenerative diseases, which we all don't want, obviously, right? So here's an actual image, an actual photograph of these neurofibrillary tangles and these microtubules. So you can see where you get a clear space, where there's no lines. That's actually, those microtubules have disintegrated, right? And you can start to see these neurofibrillary tangles forming. And so as you get older, or all these other things happen, you can get this. So what EHT does is it acts directly to prevent this from happening. And so here, PP2A, which regulates tau, actually prevents that from happening. So PP2A, as Jeff said, is a master regulator of this activity. PP2A regulates tau, and through taking EHT, you activate the PP2A protein. And by activating PP2A, you dephosphorylate tau and stabilize your microtubules. So by stabilizing your microtubules, you maintain your brain health. And it's really as simple as that. And as you explain this to people, so many of you have come up to me and asked me, how do I talk about this stuff? It's very technical. And I think if you can use some of these images and talk about microtubule association, these microtubules, it's actually a pretty simple story. It's the skeleton of a cell. And if that skeleton falls apart, if that conveyor belt system falls apart, then those neurons can't stay connected. And if those neurons become disconnected, then you're gonna feel the effects. You're gonna have neurodegenerative problems. You're gonna have cognitive problems. And so if you stick to those simple analogies and explaining it that way, I think it makes a lot of sense. And hopefully that'll help. And there's different resources that you guys can use in terms of coming to Signum Biosciences site. We have a lot of papers there that specifically talk about PP2A and EHT and tau, and those can also be useful tools, especially when you're dealing with more technical people that might want to argue against what you're trying to tell them. Take them to the site. Take them to Signum Bio site. Share those really technical papers. Maybe you don't understand those papers, but they will. And I think that's some very, very compelling evidence to convince people that EHT is a good bet to take. So some of the benefits of EHT are improving memory and recall, increasing focus and mental alertness, as well as fortifying and strengthening your natural brain functions. So there's a number of benefits that you get from this product, and it's amazing to actually see this product get into your hands and hearing all of your stories. So many of you guys have come up to me and Jeff and told us your stories, and I just can't reiterate enough how incredible that is. I mean, for us to see a product like EHT change lives in a significant way, in a very impactful way, is incredible. It's very emotional, and I encourage all of you to continue to share those stories with us. And anybody that you might know that can benefit from, athletic directors, from football programs, or any number of different institutions, please reach out to us, and we'll try to provide whatever information that we can to help you guys in communicating this message. I know it's a complicated one, but together we can really be effective in doing that and really spreading the word of EHT and spreading the word of brain health and how important that is, and so we can all be sheepdogs. Yes. So I'd just like to thank you guys again from Signum and from everybody at Signum. And we've actually interacted with a number of different people at Signum that it's changed their lives. I just wanted to share with you guys, there's a Princeton undergrad, his name's Chuck, and he, a star running back, freshman year, he got a stroke, and he couldn't walk. And, so he had a really slow recovery, and he found CrossFit, and that's how I met him. And we were able to turn him on to EHT and change his life and really help him, as well as somebody else who suffered from traumatic brain injury. He was an electrician, fell down, and we supported him in what he was trying to do and spread the message of brain health. And you can find these individuals on our Facebook page and share their stories as well. So again, it's been amazing to see the impact that EHT has had on a number of lives. It's an amazing, amazing experience for us. So at Signum, again, as Jeff mentioned, the triangle. We're developing products for the mind, products for the body, and products for the face. So beauty, mind, and face, really important to you guys, and it's important to us. And we continue to work diligently to develop new products and continue to provide you the support to sell EHT and to spread that message.
And it's important to understand that we're not just, EHT goes into your body. It's affecting your mind, it's affecting your body, just like good nutrition affects the whole thing. A drug by a pharmaceutical company has a specific target, but EHT has general effects. It also affects a protein called alpha-synuclein. It's involved in Parkinson's disease. It's anti-inflammatory for your whole body. I'd take ibuprofen much less than I used to take now that I take EHT every day. It's a general thing, just like the nutrition, just like the exercise, just like being a brain warrior. It's not just your brain. It's one unit. It all goes together. It's a unitary thing. You can't separate it. Okay? Okay.
So thank you guys. We really appreciate everything that you guys have done for Signum and for our team. And as you guys continue to sell EHT and Signum gets more and more resources, we put those resources into the science, develop more products for you guys. So it's an amazing relationship. And hopefully, without a doubt, both companies are going to grow and we're going to take over the whole world, conquer the world with EHT. Thank you. Thank you guys so much.